Hi guys. So I know this is a little bit different than what we normally do, but I really wanted to make sure that starting out this paper we had a good start. And so I recorded this video. That way, if there's anyone absent or you just have some questions, you can go back to this video if you ever need to, and it's going to be here. I will give you a few warnings. My cat is roaming around, so you may or may not see him on screen. But if you do, just kind of keep rolling with it. So, we are going to start argumentative papers today, and I know none of you are excited about this, but I promise it's not going to nearly be as painful as you think it's going to be. Um, Overall, this one is not going to take nearly as long as the other one did. We're going to kind of shorten it up and try to write them faster. Because when it comes time for the state test, you are going to have to write an argumentative paper and an informative paper at the same, like during the same time, um, in like a 90 or whatever it is minute span. So you got to learn to write quicker and think quicker. So we're starting out our practice today. We're going to start with argumentative papers, and argumentative papers are exactly what they sound like. You're making an argument. So kind of think of yourself as like a lawyer of some sort, and you are pleading or you are presenting your case on how you feel about something, and then you're going to give evidence to support that. Imagine for a little bit that I just pulled you from class and I have to talk to you about something because so and so said that you did something. And you have to give me your position on it. So you're going to tell me either, or you're probably going to tell me that no, you didn't do it. So that's your position. And then you're going to give me some reasons as to why you didn't do it. Well, I wasn't even near that person, or I didn't even pick that thing up, or I don't even talk to that person. You're going to give me reasons and evidence to support that. And then at the end, you're going to be like, Miss Bosnango, I didn't do that. So you always defend yourself in those arguments, and that's what you're going to do, except this time in paper form with 5 paragraphs: an introduction, 3 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. Now, for the state test, you're going to do this with either fiction or nonfiction texts. And regardless how you do it, the setup is still the same. We start with a position, we have 3 reasons, and then we have evidence that support those reasons. This paper actually moves pretty quickly because your position statement is like your thesis statement, and so that will be your introduction paragraph, and then each reason will be its own paragraph, like we did with the informative essay, with each, sorry, my cat's 5 minutes, with each character being a different paragraph. So in this case, it'll be each reason is a different paragraph with evidence, and then at the bottom we do have we're restating our position, so we're restating our thesis again. So we're going to look at a story, and the story that we're going to look at is Helmet Awareness Program. So at this point, we're going to pause the video so you can get those papers out. So we're going to read the story, and I'm not going to actually read it to you because you are in the 6th grade and you can read. So I'm just going to kind of glance over it a little bit. It is on Helmet Awareness Program. It's based on a letter that has been written by this Matilda French. So take a few minutes, go ahead and read through this, pause the video, read through the passage, and then come back and we will continue on with this. So at this point you should have read the video, or read the passage on helmet awareness to the school board members. And so we're going to start by looking at this passage and kind of deciding a few things. So first is, what form of writing is this prompt asking me for? Well, in this case, it's asking for an argument essay. And how do we know that? Well, it's because it's asking us to take a stance, right? It says, the prompt is asking me whether I think the helmet awareness program suggested by the author will succeed in getting students and their parents to wear helmets while riding their bike. So you have to decide, is the new program suggested going to be successful, or is it even something that we need to suggest? And the purpose of this assignment is to state our opinion and to support it, basically. Now, to do that, we're going to look back at our passage here, and we're going to start by planning out what we're going to do. So you have this graphic organizer in front of you. Mine looks a little bit different because I needed to be able to type on it. So I did put it in Google Docs so I could type on it. So you're going to have to just kind of follow along with me. We're going to kind of make It's asking you to take a stance, okay? So if we look back, our prompt is, do you think the helmet awareness program the author suggests will be effective in getting students and their parents to wear a helmet while riding a bike? Why or why not? You need to state your opinion and give me details and quotes from the text. Notice it says quotations from the text. So we need to make sure we have those as well. The prompt is asking you to take a stance. And in this paper, it's okay to give your opinion. You're supposed to. You have to. So we're going to start by trying to decide what our stance is for this paper. Okay? And that's what's going to go in our position statement, is our stance. Now, let me give you a little bit of a hint onto how this was going to work. You may think that this program is the worst program you've ever heard and it's definitely not going to work, or you may think it's the best program you've ever heard and there's no way it'll fail. Honestly, it doesn't really matter which position that you choose. At the end of the day, all that the state tests and the graders that are grading your tests are going to look for is that you know how to write an essay. So in this case, if when it comes down to it, if it's going to be easier for you to choose one side over the other, then do it. You don't have to agree with the stance that you're taking. Choose the stance that's going to be easiest for you to find evidence and write. Don't make it harder for yourself. No one's going to go meet you 30 years down the road and say, you took that stance or you didn't take this stance. No. State graders, they don't care. So choose what's going to be easiest for you to find information. Now, reading the text, I kind of thought that probably the easiest one for me to do is going to agree. So you should have this filled out already in your argument organizer, but I'm going to walk you through it. So for me, my statement position is my I think position, or I believe. What do I think is going to happen here? So in this case, I think that the helmet awareness program will help encourage students and parents to wear helmets while riding bikes. I have taken a stance. I have decided that yes, I think this program is going to be effective, and I'm taking that stance. At the end of the day, I really don't have to agree with it as long as I have evidence to support my position statement. In this case, I will. So I think that the helmet program will help encourage students and parents to wear helmets while riding bikes. Look how we've taken this from here. We've taken it from our prompt. So do you think helmet awareness program that they suggest will be effective? I do. I think the helmet awareness program will be effective. I've taken it straight from the prompt. Think of the race method, right? We're restating our question in our answer. We have restated our question, and then we have answered it. We've given us the R and the A. Now, we're going to go down to our reasons. And I need 3 reasons as to why I believe that this program is going to work. And one reason that I think is strong that I get from the text is that riding a bike without a helmet can be very dangerous. That's kind of more common sense, but it is an important thing. It's in the text. It talks about, in the story, how nearly 70% of all serious crashes involve injury of the head or brain. Okay? Bicycle helmets have been proven over and over again to be the most effective tool in preventing these injuries. And if you continue thinking about it, even think about like football players or any sports player that gets a concussion. Brain injuries are very, very serious. And so we have this. We know that if we crash, we have a brain injury, it's going to be serious. And so helmets are important. So evidence then. I'm going to pull evidence from my text, as I always do. The C in race is my citing my evidence. So I'm going to have that nearly 70% of crashes involved head/brain injuries. And I'm also going to add that brain injuries can be life-changing. You can ask any football player who's retired, who's had lots of concussions, they'll tell you that their brains are different because of the concussions that they received. They're really life-changing injuries. So then I need another reason. Okay, my next reason, I'm going to say that, many people, that's a different text. I'm going to say that many people are not aware of how dangerous riding a bike without a helmet is. And again, this is coming from the text. One of the reasons many kids don't wear helmets is because they're unaware of the risks. They don't understand what can happen when they choose not to wear a helmet. I'm pulling a reason right from the story. So I go back and I need some evidence now. My evidence is going to be that kids don't understand what can happen when they choose not to wear a helmet. Not to wear a helmet. And that most helmet laws focus only on young people. These are more evidence, okay? So I've pulled this right from the text, okay? I have this reason that people don't realize how dangerous it is, and so now I have some evidence to support that. And now I need one more reason. And I'm going to go look back and I'm going to say, you know what? Helmets, again with the different text. Helmets can prevent many serious injuries. That's, again, right from the text. By starting a helmet awareness program. Okay? And now I need evidence. 85 to 88% of brain injuries can be prevented with a helmet. I have pulled this right from my story. Here, we can share that studies showing that 85 to 88% of brain injuries can be avoided by wearing a helmet. Then we could work with students with their own families. So again, we're pulling more evidence here. Your evidence should always come from your story. If there's not enough evidence, then your stance probably isn't very strong and you might need to change it. And then, of course, we're just going to restate our position again. We restate our thesis statement and our conclusion. I believe that a helmet awareness program should be started to encourage students and their parents to wear helmets while riding bikes. I have just restated my position again. So we start with our position statement's basically going to be our introduction. We're going to add a little bit to it, but that's our introduction. Reason 1 is paragraph 1. Reason 2 is paragraph 2. Reason 3 is paragraph 3, and then my restating my position is my conclusion paragraph. That's what's so great about these essays, is that they're set up really for you already. So what you are going to do is that Mrs. Fry is going to pass out to you the next story, which is going to be Peculiar Pancakes. Okay? And with this, you're going to read through the story as a class. And after you have read through the story as a class, you are going to take your own graphic organizer and you are going to fill in the blanks. Fill in your position statement, your reason statements, your evidence, your restating your position. You're going to fill that stuff in. And then you're going to keep this. Today is all about organizing, so we need to make sure we're working really hard to organize this. Tomorrow, we're going to do our introduction and start our body paragraphs. Friday, we're going to finish our body paragraphs and do our conclusion. And then Monday, we're revising and you're submitting. So it's going to happen pretty quick. Get to work. Good luck. If you have questions, ask away. Thanks, guys.